All right, so this is proof, everyone, that when Doug Miller goes on vacation, the wheels fall off the bus and he should never be allowed to leave the office. So sorry about the confusion, everybody. Welcome, everyone. This is the Telarus Tuesday call for March 3rd, 2020. Thank you for joining today and being a part of our weekly Telarus event. I will tell you that Doug Miller was nice enough to leave a script for me. I will warn you, though, it is 8 pages long. So buckle your seatbelts. We're gonna go through this and get to IBM as quickly as we can. Quick reminder that there will be no Tuesday call next week, as Telarus, along with many of you, will be in Las Vegas at the Channel Partners Expo. We have a huge presence this year. There's like 50 of us coming. So we hope you'll take time to visit us and chat about your business and enjoy the events we have planned. So here's that calendar. Tuesday, March 10th, we're hosting Run the Channel at the Las Vegas Strip Run Walk event along with CBTS. So be sure to come join us for that. It's early in the morning on Tuesday, but you can do it. That evening from 6:30 to 8:30, Roger Blome and his team, the Telarus Business Development Team, will host the Telarus Biz Dev Bash. You can meet the team, pick their brains for ideas, and just kind of hang out with us and have fun. Dom, who's on our call today, will be there. Kobe Phillips, Cameron Olson, and Brandon Knight will all be there, as well as many of our other executives, SPDMs, et cetera. On Wednesday, the 11th, from 10:30 to noon, come play Survivor, the Emerging Technology Edition. We're going to vote people off the island and have a lot of fun with this. It's also with the Biz Dev team. Contestants will battle wits to see who understands emerging technologies, and we will actually vote our competitors off the island and have some really cool prizes. So come check that out. We also have the opportunity, if you're there, you think of a customer that could work for you, you can enter a lead form and we'll pay you cash for the lead right there. So actually it's a gift card because we can't give out cash, but it's a gift card. So we'll see you next week in Vegas. Channel Partners has done some proactive things about the coronavirus. If you have any questions about that, reach out to them. They do have a page on their website talking about, all the great things that they're doing to try to keep us all healthy and safe. So, I would say, we're not at a stage where you should be canceling any plans. Show up, we'll have a good time, and it'll be worth your while. On today's call, we are joined by IBM. Big Blue is in the house. Together with RedHat, IBM is the world leader in security and multi and hybrid cloud management. Your clients need advice as they consider their cloud journey, and many are considering moves to AWS, GCP, or Azure, but not sure how to do so. Today, we'll learn how IBM can help you capably support your client's cloud needs. That presentation is coming up in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll introduce you to a brand new Telarus supplier. It's StratusWorks, a first mover in converged platform infrastructure, platform software, disaster recovery, and security as a service. Much more than a virtual desktop, StratusWorks delivers a fully managed IT in one easy-to-use cloud platform. You'll hear from StratusWorks coming up in just moments on today's Telarus Tuesday call. I'm excited to announce they're also an exclusive provider to Telarus. If you happen to miss last week's Tuesday call, we were joined by our friends from RSI, Renaissance Systems Incorporated. RSI is the home of Cyber Compass, a SaaS solution providing continuous cyber risk control for any company. RSI transforms company and culture through fully automated solutions for business workflow. They serve the enterprise with software solutions for business improvement, artificial intelligence for big data, and custom managed IT services. We had the great team on with the call with us, as well as our own Dominic Singer, all part of that presentation. Also on last week's Tuesday call, we introduced a new supplier. It's Observe.ai. Observe's voice AI transforms contact center, turning every agent into the best brand representative. Observe monitors quality and compliance across 100% of calls and provides AI-based coaching and insights. The official launch and training call for Observe.ai was conducted last Wednesday, and the recording of that call, along with last week's Tuesday call presented from RSI, are both available anytime in your Telarus partner back office. As always, we invite you to log into the video link and live chat platform to see all of today's valuable information and submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. Let me tell you about an easy way to earn a phenomenal trip to St. Lucia, a beautiful place to celebrate your success. The 2020 Telarus President's Club event will be next March in St. Lucia, and our Telarus suppliers will make it easy for you to qualify for this year's award. You can either sell a combined $100K in Telarus MRR, or sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown on your screen. As you can see from this list, there are many terrific and easy ways to qualify, and that list continues to grow. Every sale counts toward qualifying for this amazing trip. Don't miss the opportunity to join Telarus March 7th through 10th, 2021 in St. Lucia for the 2020 President's Club. Now, here's our calendar of upcoming local and regional events. Telarus continues to travel the country, featuring opportunities and events to help educate and involve our partners with fast-growing and changing industry. Tomorrow, Wednesday, March 4th, in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the Prestonwood Country Club in Cary, Telarus will present our Digital Edge and Cloud Bootcamp from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., sponsored by Big Leaf, Effortless, and Flexential. How your clients get to the cloud is just as important as what they do in it. That's why Telarus is helping partners understand how to architect and support their clients' digital edge and cloud environments. Come learn how to help your customers on their digital transformation journey during our Raleigh Bootcamp tomorrow. Telarus is also bringing the spectacular Transformation Telarus Innovation Conference to partners around the country. This year's edition features all new content from our Telarus management team, that's me, and industry experts. Please plan to join us at an event near you for a day of training, networking, and activities that will transform your business. And there are service opportunities and prizes as well at each event. On Tuesday, March 17th, we'll be in the Big Easy, New Orleans, at the National World War II Museum. This is a phenomenal opportunity to come check out this great museum, as well as meet all of our great suppliers and partners there. And on Thursday, March 26th, you'll find us in Kansas City, Kansas, at the World War I Museum and Memorial. You see a theme here? We also, I don't have them on here, but I also wanted to mention we have two great golf tournaments in March. One is in Phoenix on March 24th, and one is in Livermore up in Northern California on March 26th. So if you're a golfer, you be sure to register for those events. Great thing about our golf events is you can also bring your customer to this event. So it's a great way for you to show your customer kind of a little bit about who Telarus is, introduce them to some new suppliers, and have a great day. These will all be immersive training technology experiences featuring outstanding activities and content from our team, as well as many industry experts. Join us, take advantage of these, and be sure to come out and see us. You can always see our full schedule of events with all the Telarus upcoming opportunities and register or RSVP at thetelarus.com/events. Today I have the great pleasure of introducing a brand new Telarus supplier. It's StratusWorks, a first mover in converged platform infrastructure, platform software, disaster recovery, and security as a service. Much more than a virtual desktop, StratusWorks delivers a fully managed IT in one easy-to-use cloud platform. Our friend Dan Foster is the Chief Revenue Officer at StratusWorks and now joins me to introduce this tremendous new partnership. Dan, welcome to the Telarus Tuesday call. Are you there?
I am, Amy, and thank you very much.
Yay.
Excited to be out here in Utah with our good friends Telarus. Just by way of quick background, I've seen Telarus scale up over the years. From when I was at Megapath as president and COO, we grew our business from $5 million to over $500 million with a lot of support from Telarus. So I'm bringing over a team who's very used to scaling with all of your partners, and so we're very excited about that. And what else are we excited about? We're excited about the unique positioning in the marketplace and some of the team that we've engaged with here, Kobe Phillips, Josh Lupresto, and the rest of the executive team in terms of building out a leading cloud practice that Telarus is incredibly committed to. And so today I'm excited to announce an exclusive partnership with Telarus, making your partners the only ones out there in the business with the ability to sell our product. And what I would say is I think you really need to see a demo, and I'll come back to that in just a moment, because when you see the demo, I think you're going to agree it's incredibly compelling. First off, what is it? It's a one-of-a-kind, super simple, turnkey cloud workspace, also known as workspace as a service, delivering virtual desktops. So think about virtual machines and virtual hard disks co-located out there in the cloud. Applications, so think application management. This is a key differentiator. And then high-performing CPU and GPU workstations. Finally, storage, and then you can't leave out security. So really minimizing the attack surface. And most importantly, a trademarked zero-touch, zero-delay provisioning process where we can bring customers, your end users, up in under 2 minutes. And I think you'll see that when you actually look at what we're up to. And so one of the common pain points that IT executives have is moving to a cloud strategy. So there's many levers to pull. There's a lot of complexity. You've got a millennial workforce coming in that wants to bring their own machines. You've got hardware refresh cycles that are accelerating with the need for more powerful computing. So think of this. You buy a $200 Chromebook, you download a StratusWorks RDP, and in 2 minutes, you've got a full application stack with minimal attack surface for an ultra-secure, high compute environment with all sorts of applications, whether it's an AutoCAD or a SolidWorks, a full Microsoft Windows package, or even custom apps from that business that they might have built. As long as it's got an EXE, we're going to cloudify it and deliver it. All of this, taking that $200 Chromebook, making it into that $3,000 machine that the IT guy can't afford to do. So in summary, our value proposition centers around driving the complexity out of adopting a cloud-first strategy. There's competitors out there, no question, but when you look at what AWS is doing with workspaces, VMware is doing, even Windows Virtual Desktop, these take managed service providers and a lot of complexity to just spin up something like an AutoCAD and deliver it. And that is our focus, is delivering the simplicity of that. And then you've also got a Citrix, which has been out there for a couple decades. And I think anybody who's done VDI with them would agree that it's a challenge. So we've got a lot of use cases. In fact, we just last week brought up a nonprofit in a day and a half. We provisioned their entire infrastructure. We've got oil companies out in the Middle East. We've got a lot of different use cases we think you'll be excited to hear about on our webinar tomorrow. So come to our webinar tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to see for yourself. Also, we'll be in the Telarus booth. So Amy and the team have been nice enough to host us. So we've got our own booth within Telarus in Vegas. And then we'll be out on the streets hitting a bunch of the field events as well. So we're super excited to be here today in Utah and scaling up with Telarus. So thank you very much, Amy. Any questions or comments you need me to address, Amy?
No, I think we're good, Dan. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Wednesday, March 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern, like you said, 9 o'clock Mountain. And we will see him in our booth at Channel Partners next week. So thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
It's now time for our weekly partner sales recognition. Shout outs to some of our highest performing Telarus partners who've put some of the top wins on the board during the past week. In third place this week, we recognize Jake Sherrill, founder and chairman, Nate Sherrill, COO, and all the team at Tier 4 Advisors LLC out of Alpharetta, Georgia. The Tier 4 team closed an extraordinary sale of contact center and UCaaS services from RingCentral on a 5-year term. It's huge. To a client in the insurance industry. RingCentral allows customers to go global and scale on a highly reliable, secure, and open platform. This is Tier 4 Advisors' first appearance on the Telarus Top 3. Tier 4 eliminates the wasted time, stress, and minute details involving IT procurement projects, giving the leadership team more time to run and grow their business. Tier 4 leverages a proven procurement process guaranteed to make their client's project a success. Congratulations, Jake, Nate, and the Tier 4 Advisors team on this fantastic RingCentral sale. And in this week's second position, Telarus congratulates Peter, I'm going to mess this up, Fischelis. He's the principal, and all the team at InSync, is that how you say it? InSync Communications Corp. Again, Doug Miller should be here, I'm sorry. Out of Concord, Massachusetts. This is InSync's first appearance on the Telarus Top 3, another first time, I love it. The InSync team posted an exceptional sale of fiber Ethernet services from Comcast Business to a client in the marketing communications field. Comcast fiber Ethernet services help your clients enhance agility and boost productivity through connections that keep up with the speed of business. InSync Communications proudly offers expertise in all areas of telecommunications, collaboration tools, cloud services, mobility, IoT, and TEM. Congratulations, Peter Fischelis and InSync Communications on this tremendous Comcast Business sale. And taking the #1 spot in this week's top sales leaderboard, Telarus congratulates Darlene Stevens, Todd Gorange, and the team at Elite Telecom Solutions LLC, right down the road from the Telarus offices in nearby Draper, Utah. The Elite team closed a tremendous sale of contact center services from Nice in Contact to a client in the pest control business. Nice in Contact makes it easy for contact centers to transform one-on-one experiences by unifying omni-channel routing and workforce optimization with agility of the cloud. Elite Telecom Solutions offers their clients strong carrier partnerships and detailed understanding of client network needs to provide the value-added consulting and strong ongoing support clients can count on. Elite Telecom Solutions was also just recently honored for more than 90 consecutive months of sales placed through Telarus. Congratulations to Elite Telecom Solutions on this phenomenal NICE in Contact sale. It is our top Telarus sale of the week. Such impressive wins. Thanks to all of you, our partners, for continuing to trust Telarus with your business. Love all the loyalty points they're getting for all those sales too. And now we take a look at this week's training calendar. 4 excellent opportunities being featured on today's call as Telarus and our suppliers help build your business with valuable information you need to know. First up, today, Tuesday, beginning at 2 p.m., AT&T will present their Product Basics Workshop featuring AT&T's Voice over IP and UCaaS portfolios. It's a high-level but valuable overview of the predominant service offerings you can offer clients through Telarus. By join that call today at 2 o'clock Eastern. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, as we've already mentioned, you can join Telarus at 11 a.m. Eastern for the official launch and training call of our newest exclusive Telarus supplier, StratusWorks. More than a desktop, StratusWorks offered a fully managed infrastructure, software, storage, security, DR, and backup in one easy-to-use cloud platform. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. And later Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Ariaka will conduct its quarterly town hall webinar, providing the latest Ariaka company news and the important information that you need to know regarding changes and improvements being made to the Ariaka Partner Program to help ensure your success. Ariaka quarterly webinar Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then this Thursday, March 5th, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, plan to join Granite for a very valuable discussion on helping prepare your customers' facilities for the upcoming rollout of the big 5G. You can be your client's trusted 5G consultant and make great money doing it. This special Granite training event will show you how. Join Granite Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern for all the info. And I think if you go to that session, then you don't have to get your head shaved at Channel Partners. So you want to be sure to join that so that you don't have to go get shaved. The details and registration links for these and many other fabulous live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. Now, there are so many valuable spiffs available to Telarus partners right now. Each week, we pass along some of the best. Here are 3 to consider as you evaluate your client's needs. First up, earn more money the easy way with a winter spiff bonus from Viasat. Now through March 31st, a new subscriber sale from a first-time seller of Viasat service earns 3x MRC spiff on that first deal. For new subscriber sales from partners who've previously sold Viasat, there's a 2x MRC spiff waiting for you. It's the easy way to earn more when you sell Viasat. And next, from Mitel until June 30th, get up to 4x MRR during this special UCaaS promotion. The bigger the deal, the bigger your reward. No strings attached. Sell 10 through 45 seats and earn a 2x MRR bonus, or sell 50 through 250 seats and earn a 3x MRR bonus. You see how this is growing? And sales of 201 seats or more earn a 4x MRR bonus from Mitel. And finally, from CenturyLink, earn up to $5,000 when you sell CenturyLink services to new logo customers located in specific target markets. It's a 1x MRC bonus of up to $5,000 for any eligible service on a minimum 2-year to a new logo customer in an eligible market. You can call for details, lead with CenturyLink, and earn big money for eligible sales now through June 30th, and more information is available once again in the partner back office at promos.telarus.com. Well, as I mentioned earlier, today we're excited to be joined by our friends from IBM, here to discuss your client's cloud journey and your role in helping them reach their destination. Your customers may be considering a move to the cloud, but are undecided between the many options. In addition to optimizing existing and future environments, clients need to protect and preserve critical data and provide the security necessary whenever new cloud developments are deployed. IBM, together with RedHat, is the world leader in security and cloud management. Ed Kim is a global technologies strategist and strategic advisor at IBM, and Thomas Davis is IBM's cloud services channel leader. I believe they're both here today. I'm not sure, is Thomas on? Or is it just Ed?
Amy, it'll just be Ed today.
Okay. And so we have Ed. We also have Dominic Singer, our VP of Biz Dev Security. We wanted to get Kobe Phillips on the phone as well to talk about the cloud piece of Ed's presentation today. Kobe is actually in the air right now, headed somewhere to go visit to a boot camp. So Ed and Dom, welcome to the Telarus Tuesday call. Ed and Dom. Okay.
Amy, appreciate it. Go ahead, Dom. I didn't want to speak over you, so go ahead.
No way. I'll just rock right into it, Ed. It's all your show.
Well, thanks, Dom. Thanks again, Amy and the Telarus team. I'm especially excited, first off, to be part of this discussion with Telarus. Because plain and simply, I think we all know on this call that they get it, right? They're one of the very few masters in the country that put very hard dollars in investment towards great hires like Dom in the security side and Kobe on the cloud side of things. And they understand the value proposition and the importance of both cloud and security for both the business partners and their end users and customers. So I want to say thanks again for having IBM be part of this call. Thank you to the Telarus team, and welcome to all the business partners who are joining in today. So as Amy alluded to, I'm part of GTS, which in short is the Global Technology Services. GTS accounts for roughly about 40% of the entire annual revenue, which is maybe around $84 billion per year of IBM. So plain and simply, I'm a very small fish in a very large ocean, but I am part of a large team within GTS channel and business partners that helps really train the trainers, help sales engineers, sales consultants, business partners and end users understand really the value proposition of IBM when it comes to both cloud and security, as well as some of the things that people may not be aware of. So with that, we'll get started. So why IBM? I wanted to create a quick cheat sheet or battle card to really explain at a high level. And I'm not going to try to get too technically in the weeds. If anyone has any questions, please do interrupt me, because this is more for you than anyone else. And I want to make sure everyone on the call gets clear value from this discussion, the topic at hand. But I want to first start off by saying that IBM is not trying to compete in the cloud hosting space, right? So what I mean by that is when it comes to the hyperscale providers or public cloud hosting providers, like the big three, right? AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Compute platform. Those three have the lion's share, particularly Amazon, when it comes to public cloud infrastructure as a service hosting, right? But what makes IBM different is we're the most complete cloud and technology provider when it comes to end-to-end orchestration, meaning migration and management of cloud workloads between those cloud providers, including IBM Cloud, but also tethering and integrating security components that make us really the largest and the most secure cloud provider end-to-end in the world. So our play is not just to be a hosting company, because in my opinion, we're never going to win that battle. Amazon is clearly ahead. But what makes us different is to be able to provide truly the most open cloud ecosystem so that we can provide business partners and clients the ability to move their data anywhere, anyhow, any place in the most open cloud available today in the marketplace. So there's three phrases that IBM goes through in 2020. It's open, enterprise grade, and secure. And I'm going to get more into the details of those three areas, but I want to make sure that I also lay down the facts and provide objective knowledge to everybody on the call as to why we are the largest open cloud provider and we have security tailored on top of it. We will help guide your customer's journey to cloud end-to-end. Most organizations, they don't understand which workloads to move and why. I know within business partners, a lot of you have customers who are paying high dollar amounts for data center colocation and on-premise hosting. But a lot of them are also looking to migrate their workloads to the cloud. But more importantly, they don't understand what workloads to move and why. People are more cognizant of trying to be aware of, hey, I just don't want to move to public cloud because it's a cool trend nowadays and everyone says we should go there because it's cheaper. I want to make sure I make the right decision for my company, my end users, and for future growth. So what IBM does is when it comes to, we call J2C or Journey to Cloud, is we help provide that advisory and consultation approach to be able to guide your customers on, even if keeping their equipment on premise or in a colo is a better suit or makes better sense for them, right? So from an end-to-end service perspective, this is where IBM's value proposition also comes into play. Where IBM wins, in short, we're globally agnostic. We support all different third-party manufacturer brands. We understand that everybody has their flavor of purchases, or they've already CapEx spend on certain manufacturer brands. We're not here as IBM to try to reinvent the wheel and try to get people to spend or respend their capital expenditure dollars. If someone has a FortiGate Fortinet or a Cisco appliance, or using Barracuda or WatchGuard or any other network appliance for that matter, we will support those network appliances or those SaaS-based solutions for your customers end to end. It doesn't have to be an IBM service-specific piece of hardware or software. We definitely are today more focused on getting executive sponsorship and aligning the business with the operational needs of an organization. We have a very cool technology called MCMP, and what I like to define that in the business partner world is we have a cloud expense management, or CEM, service for business partners and their customers. We understand that most people nowadays have multiple clouds. They're in multiple providers. They have on-prem, they have colo, they have public, they have private, they have all kinds of different flavors, shapes, and sizes. We will help manage those assets and also help provide visibility into their cloud expense and their spend. That is going to be crucial in today's marketplace moving forward. I want to give a quick example. We have a large US-based home appliance company who used our MCMP product at IBM to be able to get visibility into their current AWS reserved instances spend. They thought they had 5,000 VMs. After 1 month using our MCMP product, we realized that they had 15,000 VMs, essentially 10,000 VMs that they were spending that they didn't need, which equaled $1.5 million of wasted money. So the point is, this particular service, in this case, cost around 30 grand one time. How business partners make money, because we're all cognizant of MRR, this could also be spread out between 12 or 36 months. This is typically the type of engagement or contract term that customers have. So you certainly can get the MRR from it. But the point is, people are seeing a lot of value when it comes to using these type of tools, because they're using different clouds, whether in Amazon, Azure, or even IBM, and they don't even realize how many instances they have turned on. This is the value prop of an MCMP tool or a cloud expense management tool. Amy mentioned earlier very well that we acquired RedHat. So RedHat and IBM together now is the world leader in hybrid and multi-cloud management. That's important because you don't want to be able to force people to just be on Amazon or IBM for that matter. We realize that everybody has their affinity towards different clouds, or maybe they're coming into a role as the new CTO and they already had all their workloads in Microsoft Azure, but they need someone to manage it. IBM can provide that level of support even if a lick of data is not in IBM's environment. That is the difference with IBM. Most providers, they manage, but they only manage if you have a subset of data in their environment. We don't care, IBM, if even less than 1% of data or 0% of data is in any IBM latent service. We will support your customers no matter where they are in their cloud journey or where they want to go. End-to-end advisory and consultancy services. We're the largest services and MSP provider in the world. So this is important, again, from an MRR perspective. We're the #1 VMware systems integrator and system operator of managed workloads, 2,000 customers and counting. Dom knows this very well. We're the largest analyst-rated cybersecurity company in the world. So if you look at the Forresters, the Gartners, the Frost & Sullivans, the IDCs, all of the things that we as business partners look at, as well as customers to get objective intel of who is leading in a particular space, we lead from an end-to-end advisory when it comes even to journey to cybersecurity. We do have a Blue Bench, which is IBM's staffing as a service, I like to call it. We don't provide full-time employee staffing, but if someone needs staff augmentation for a particular project, or they want to hire a full-time chief information security officer for maybe just 6 months, or they want a network security architect, we can provide those resources on demand and spin those people down if your customers don't need it any longer. So this is the value proposition of IBM and where we're going from an agility and people perspective. We've been around for about 109 years, founded in Armonk, New York. So we are the oldest and the original technology company in the world today. And right now, as far as I know, when it comes to channel, we're the only global fully managed cloud of our size where agents get paid. There are a lot of great cloud providers and managed services providers that you guys have access to. We all know that. But from an end-to-end, 110-year company with upwards of 380,000 employees total, we're the largest, and we have a direct agreement with Telarus that gives you guys end-to-end payments from an agent perspective. Next slide. All right, so IBM journey. I want to set the background real quick on where IBM is going. A lot of people are looking at IBM as an old school mainframe company. Certainly, we still support some of our mainframe supercomputers, but where IBM is going from a technology perspective, and if you look at the next slide, is we're transforming our organization to more of a services and advisory firm. This slide is about a year old, but I'll do my best to update the numbers. 3 years ago, the last 4 years now, we've spent more than $40 billion in M&As, mergers and acquisitions, and this doesn't even include the $34 billion acquisition of RedHat, which was last year and solidified last year. So we've doubled our spend just in the RedHat acquisition, which is by far IBM's largest acquisition to date. So we certainly have a strategic roadmap. We're no longer your grandfather's IBM. This is very important for even internal IBMers to understand. IBM is making a huge paradigm shift, not just with security, but with cloud first and foremost. We're the leader in US patents for 26.5 years in a row. So we have over 9,000 patents, and ironically, 3,700 of these, Dom would like to hear, is just in cybersecurity alone. So if you look at the total, 50% of these patents are new disruptive technologies that all of you business partners are starting to hear about, whether it be Watson AI, cloud, blockchain, cybersecurity, and we've certainly acquired a heck of a lot of organizations to increase our capability within all of those areas. Next slide. IBM customer fit. So what's the best use cases for IBM? So I also want to quickly get out the big elephant in the room that IBM only works with large companies. Certainly that was the case years ago, when IBM first was founded. Now that we are becoming more channel centric, I like to say, we do have better price points. And to give you an example, there was a resiliency DR quote for a private infrastructure as a service need that we quoted out that we came in half the price less, and Rackspace was the other primary bidder. But our quote for the exact same end-to-end scope was half the cost of what Rackspace was posing. And this is not to say Rackspace doesn't provide an amazing solution. They are, and they are leaders in many aspects of what they do. But my point is, we do play and competitively play when it comes to a pricing bid as well. Most people think IBM's great, I won't get fired for using IBM, but they're too big and they're too expensive. So in order for us to be channel centric, we got to be able to play with the SMBs. I understand that, and IBM is understanding that as well. So my point is, we can play and we can provide cost-benefit bids because we also use third-party suppliers within IBM's ecosystem. So we can deliver everything on IBM paper. We are the prime, and we can make sure that you as business partners get paid. But this particular slide here shows that we touch and work with every industry you can think of being over 100 years old. Next slide. And so who are the customers? What questions should I ask? Because I know the business partners like to often ask me, Ed, what should I listen for when it comes to customers? What's a green light to get IBM involved? Well, how do I digitize, or in this marketplace today, how do I modernize or digitally transform to the cloud? This could even be cybersecurity. This can even be SD-WAN. This could be anything, help desk. Anything today, you could use the word digitize or modernize, and IBM can help in all of those facets. But for today's conversation, we'll just focus on the cloud. How will I adapt to rapidly changing customer preferences? We understand customers' needs change, not from an IT perspective only, but from a business perspective. We have a large business unit within IBM that helps provide cost-benefit analysis and ROI spend on different technologies that we can also quote and scope for you. How do I make compliance simpler? Dominic knows that compliance and security is complex. It's a headache, and there's compliances that are being uprooted by the day. So we have a huge, being the largest cybersecurity company in the world, huge security strategy, risk, and compliance group that helps end-to-end provide advice and guidance on what to be able to implement for an organization from a security perspective, along with a cloud perspective. How do I build a mature cybersecurity framework? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Are my company's talent practices still relevant? How do I develop our people to deliver greater value? So I call this business process outsourcing. Remember I mentioned Blue Bench. This is BPO, where I need to be able to staff certain expertise for a given project, Ed, but I don't want to spend full-time dollars because I don't need to hire someone for $300,000 for a project that roughly might take 4 to 6 months to complete. Can you help me? And the answer is now you as business partners who have access to IBM can use those resources through us and get paid for that service. Any questions before I move on? Okay,
the
I'm going to
partners
talk
are muted.
a bit.
There are a couple of questions that are in the chat, and we'll get to those at the end.
Thanks, Amy. Okay, I'm going to fly through this a bit. I know we have just to the top of the hour, so I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick so I can leave time for questions. So the top 10 door openers for 2020. So whenever you hear business partners, anything related to how do I move to the cloud, but not just move to the cloud. I already know I want to go to Amazon, let's say, or IBM, but how do I make that happen? How do I use the people efficiently? I have people who can do DevOps, but I don't have people to provide the methodology and to provide the security and the governance around that business model. How do I do it? This is where IBM's value proposition comes into play. How do I optimize my current help desk? How do I optimize my current data center or on-prem infrastructure? Network transformation. You guys are the masters and the king at Telarus when it comes to anything connectivity-wise. We can also provide that level of service and hybrid resiliency. And next slide, please. So I'm going to fly through this, but this really talks about what clients are asking for based on IBM's research and development teams. The top 10 door openers to sell and the client value proposition, which is important for the business partners. And I highlighted a few just because I know that these are some of the areas that you guys probably come into contact with more than less. How do I rapidly accelerate my move to the cloud, whether it be open source or any public cloud for that matter? So the value proposition to your clients is accelerating cloud end-to-end transformation for the next generation of services. This thing also includes building cloud-native applications because your clients might have a legacy environment or cloud-native applications that are not native to cloud yet, and they need help to build those applications so it can easily move and laterally in parallel move from cloud to cloud. This is where IBM can come into play. I mentioned again earlier the data center example. You guys have a lot of data center clients. I work with opportunities that are 20 racks, 60 racks plus that are in CenturyLink or in DRT or in Equinix, but some of them are looking to make a move to cloud, but they don't know if they should move all of it or they should move maybe 40%. This is where IBM can help your clients and get you paid on all of that spend, right? We can help you with that migration, the lift and shift. We can help you keep on-premise in the colo. We don't care what colocation facility it's in. We can help optimize the current infrastructure if it's a bare metal or a virtualized environment. And we can also help figure out where they should go. Should it be Amazon? Should it be Alibaba? Should it be in China? Should it be in the US? Should it be IBM Cloud? We can help you with that journey. And these are areas that IBM can get paid. So end to end, there's no one else that compares from a complete supply chain perspective than IBM, because we have over 20,000 full-time managed services engineers to support that on-premise or remotely. How do I optimize my spend?
Sorry for interrupting you, Ed, there. I just wanted to really point out, and I know everybody knows it, but it's important to point out that you also have that full end-to-end security story. And we don't need to get into the details today, but that's a really important consideration when customers are moving to the cloud. So I know, Ed, you're tight on time here, so I want to spend a bunch of time on it, but when we're talking about resiliency, when we're talking about moving into the cloud and data protection or identity protection, those kind of things are critical considerations for customers. And that's where you can really leverage IBM on a global scale to help your customers. So sorry for interrupting you, Ed. I just wanted to point that out.
No, thanks, Dom. It's a great point because you can't have a resiliency practice or a security practice or a cloud practice without tying all of those three layers together in today's marketplace, right? IAM, identity access management, is also a big part of that. So certainly that's a great point, Dom. And this is where IBM's strength is, right? Since we're an end-to-end services company, again, we don't care which manufacturer, if it's on-prem, if it's colo, if it's an IBM or otherwise, we will help with that roadmap, that strategic business and IT operational roadmap. Okay, next slide. What are the GTS service lines? So real quick, if I were to give you a cliff noted version on one particular succinct deck, this is that slide. So we provide hybrid cloud resiliency services. Again, part of that is because of IBM as a services company, even well before we acquired RedHat. But with RedHat, we're even stronger, and I'll go into the value proposition of RedHat in the next couple slides here in a bit. DWS, which is digital workplace services. We do TEM, which you guys do very, very well, telecom expense management. We have mobile device management capabilities. We provide help desk, workplace services, desktop support services. We are agnostic when it comes to building of end-to-end VDI or desktop as a service environment. We don't care if it's Citrix, if it's VMware, if it's remote desktop, Microsoft, or OpenVZ. There are end-to-end solutions that we can help. We even provide Windows 10 migrations because the Windows 10 desktop support services are expiring for people that haven't updated their desktops. So we can provide that level of expertise as well. Security services, I'm not going to go into here that much because IBM is big, and we have separate discussions when it comes to what Dom is spearheading over at Telarus when it comes to security. So if you have any questions, please ping us. We can go into more depth there. Business resiliency, Dom mentioned this is big on DR, building a business continuity plan, recovery point time objectives. We can do that. In fact, we are the leader in Gartner and Forrester's Wave, Gartner's Quadrant, Forrester's Wave, when it comes to disaster recovery as a service. Network services, I'm not going to go into here because you guys have keys to the kingdom. You guys know this much better than I do, but certainly it's an area, if you have any questions, IBM can certainly assist Telarus and their business partners. On the top right, in the blue, we're a big technology advisory firm, as I mentioned. So anything cloud strategy related or move or migration related, again, it could be within IBM, it could be outside of IBM, we can help you with that. We are large when it comes to IT service management, ITOM frameworks. So ServiceNow is the big market leading provider when it comes to ITSM ticketing and support ticketing services. We use ServiceNow internally within IBM as well, but we can take a ServiceNow instance that your customers have, we can optimize it, or we can help your clients figure out which ITSM service to be able to use, ServiceNow or any others. We can also provide data center strategy, security operations, security strategy. We can even build out a NOC as a service for companies that no longer have a colo, so they don't need a NOC on-premise site anymore to manage their operations from a ticketing perspective. We can build out a NOC as a service and literally save organizations half of the cost while still having 24/7, 365-day support. We're a multi-vendor services company. We can support, again, end-to-end, regardless of what SaaS or hardware manufacturer appliance that your customers have. And we're a cloud services company at the end of the day. We're the largest VMware hypervisor, orchestration and manager in IBM Cloud today. We have our bare metal offering. Again, you guys know that we acquired SoftLayer around, I think, 2013, so about 7 years ago. So when it comes to private cloud, bare metal, virtualized servers, or container services, especially with Red Hat, we do all of those types of delivery and deployment models for you and your clients, and we can manage it no matter which solution they provide. And equally important, we can help guide them in that process. You may not know we are big when it comes to enterprise resource planning, integration, optimization, building roadmaps. It could be Infor, it could be SAP, it could be Oracle, it could be Dynamics, Microsoft. We are agnostic when it comes to that. So this is the key differentiator. You guys as business partners are agnostic. IBM is agnostic. So when it comes to a brokerage supplier that is completely neutral and it doesn't have to be an IBM service, this is where IBM can help make your life easier and help support your customers end to end. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, advisory modernization management, cloud, any cloud, anywhere. Next slide. So the big key to help you guys understand why IBM has grown so much into the public cloud orchestration place is to what Amy mentioned earlier. With Red Hat and us acquiring them formally last year for $34 billion, Red Hat is the leader globally when it comes to open source operating system and technology services. So they are the creators of what you guys may have heard, RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and they also built a technology called OpenShift. So what does that mean to you, okay? When someone is looking at an open source solution, and you guys all heard of open source, Linux, Red Hat, or Unix-based technologies, it allows customers to prevent vendor lock-in. This is key, right? A lot of the obstacles moving to the public cloud is security, but also I don't want to be stuck in the cloud if I make a bad decision, or I don't want to have to pay an exorbitant amount of egress fees, meaning data out, if I make a bad decision and I want to move away from Amazon and go to Microsoft or IBM or even a colo for that matter. I want to prevent that from happening. With IBM and the acquisition of Red Hat, we are the largest open source company in the world and are the least vendor locked cloud, IBM public cloud, in the world, right? So this is very, very important. So companies can easily come in or leave IBM anytime they want without absorbing a huge amount of egress fees, because we charge the least when it comes to egress fees going out of our cloud as well. And we have the least stickiest APIs. So we're hybrid and we're multi-cloud. Could be Amazon, Alibaba, and IBM Cloud. We can manage all of those three clouds or one cloud. It could be hybrid. It could be community cloud, private IaaS, colo. It could be public. We can manage it no matter what type of cloud it is or delivery mechanism. We're open because of Red Hat, and everyone uses Red Hat. Alibaba, GCP, Azure, Amazon. They all use RHEL in their ecosystem. So that's why we can manage all of those workloads in all of those competitive clouds, because they all use OpenShift. They all use Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Because they use our tools and technologies now, we can support all of those providers. That's how it works. And then you add on the fact that we're the largest security company in the world, it just makes us end-to-end the highest encryption level security company where IBM doesn't even see your customers' data. We are the only cloud provider in a public scale perspective that cannot see your customers' data, even within our cloud, but we can still manage it. We are the only ones in the world that can do that. And to boot, we are the largest financial services cloud in the world because we have the highest level of encryption, and we have a huge partnership with Bank of America. And we are also providing them free services as our anchor tenant with financial services to help us lead the industry when it comes to financial services cloud. It doesn't limit us to just banking, but we also host the top 10 banks in the world in part or in all when it comes to their data. So this is the evolution and the facts behind why IBM and how strong we've become. But the methodology is shown here in these blue bubbles: advise, move, build, and manage. Next slide. I think there's only 2 or 3 more slides and I'm done. VMware, we're the largest VMware supporter. So whether it be on IBM Cloud, we can also support it in Amazon or Azure. Next slide. And this is the last slide. I want to make sure I leave the rest of the time with questions. This is a very useful but simple pictograph that shows the methodology of our approach. We call it 14 and 4, Journey to Cloud. When your clients are asking, business partner, what should I move? I have to be able to adhere to CCPA in California now, or GDPR, or I have a PCI DSS requirement, or a healthcare requirement. I'm looking to expand a new application in Southeast Asia, but I need to be able to be cognizant of their requirements when it comes to security. This is our discussion of you can't have one discussion without the other. We can provide that guidance. So I call that level 1, or steps 1, 2, and 3. Cloud advisory, what to move, why, or should I keep everything in my colo in Equinix? Maybe that would be the right fit. You know, IBM's not going to push your customers to move to IBM Cloud if it doesn't make sense. This is the value proposition of IBM. The second layer is in the quarter buckets is modernize. How do I migrate? How do I digitally transform my workloads to move to a cloud environment? Can you help me with that journey? And then part 3 is building the cloud. How do I build for microservices? With Red Hat, we build everything on OpenShift, which we now own because of Red Hat. And OpenShift is the microservices layer of everything that IBM is doing, along with all the other cloud providers that are trying to build for in the future. It's all about Docker. It's all about Kubernetes and using an open source framework. Kubernetes and Docker is all open source, by the way. So with the Red Hat acquisition as being an open source company, IBM has become one of the largest open source distributors or contributors in all those different open source projects. So these are the facts behind how we become such a strong player when it comes to open source and managing those workloads, right? After we build it, a lot of organizations need help managing it. I mentioned the MCMP, or the Cloud Expense Management Tool. How do I manage from Alibaba to Amazon to DRT to Zayo to IBM? How do I do that? These are some of the areas that IBM can help you from a use case perspective. The great thing about this is you can consume it like a pizza. You don't have to buy all 14 slices. If you just want to buy slice, 1 or 5, your customers can do that and only pay on demand, because we realize that we're only there to help the customers not replace their full-time employees, but support their current teams. So we can right-size this graph however your customer needs are best met. So with that, that concludes my presentation. I want to leave the next 5 minutes for any questions. Appreciate everybody listening in.
So Ed, that was a lot, I'm going to be honest, and I think our partners maybe have some questions that they're going to think of later. In our partner back office, the person that's there as the contact is Phil Hall. Is that the right person for them to reach out to for questions that you have here?
No, it would be myself, actually. So I'll be your main point of contact, Amy,
okay,
when it comes to everything. But Phil's part of my team. Correct.
Okay, so if you can make sure that that's updated in our partner back office, Marissa and the supplier management team can help you with that. But that's really important that our partners always know to go to that partner back office and be able to find that. The other thing that you'll find in the partner back office is the IBM Cloud Battle Card. And this is an incredible way to be able to have questions in front of you so that when you get into these kind of situations, you can say, are you looking to transform your app dev processes and methods to better take advantage of the cloud? Or do you have significant investments in VMware WebSphere apps? I mean, there are, half a dozen questions that IBM has written that will help guide you down a conversation that brings you to, yes, let's chat, let's bring an expert in. So I know that this was a lot of information. I will tell you also that Estefania Lopez, who hosts the call, does a great job of digesting all of this and putting it onto our blog. She usually grabs some great screenshots. There were a couple on there that that 14.4 was a great screenshot. We'll grab that. We'll put it out there on the blog so partners can refer back to that. So I just want to synthesize down a little bit more. You did say that SMB is not a problem, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, because when I think of IBM, I think of enterprise. I think big, and I think a lot of our partners do too. And so, your sweet spot is really probably more the enterprise space. But that 14.4 is a great way to kind of digest and break things apart and say, hey, how can I help you? Steph, can you go back one slide just so we can see that again? How can I help advise on the cloud and then move to the cloud and then build for the cloud and then manage on the cloud? And I think that's a good, that four-step process is a great way for partners to be able to even print this out and present this to their customer and say, let's talk about these different, 14 different things, right?
That's right. Yep. And that's why this was my favorite slide of all of them from a partner perspective, right? Because it's a very simple thing to digest. You can share this openly with your clients. Absolutely. And we do play in the SMB space. Actually, we just won a deal yesterday. In fact, that was only $13,000. I mean, it just shows how low we would go on a particular cloud and security deal. So we won that deal with other bidders, and it's partly because of our cost. So, we were at your guys' Telarus Summit last year, sponsoring the highest levels because we did our research understanding that you guys, just like most masters, have solid, amazing SMB clients. We wouldn't have sponsored Telarus last year's at your summit if we didn't invest in that, or we could play nicely in that space. So that's why we can do it. And I encourage you guys, everyone, to give us a shot when it comes to those opportunities, no matter the size.
And so there was a couple questions that came into the chat. One was, how do you ensure the integrity of the data if you cannot see it?
That's a really great question. So that's part of the process of building certain cloud native apps. Okay. So number one, we can help build it from scratch so we can help provide that integrity. If the application is already built, that's really where our team, and these are people I have to bring in that are much more smarter than I am when it comes to this, who come in to collaborate closely with your clients to be able to understand how the application was built and the capabilities of that particular app. But we also keep the integrity of the application because since we have the highest levels of encryption, we can secure better than anyone data in transit, on the move, and at rest in between any cloud. So that's part of the short of how we can make sure that applications are kept secure from an integrity standpoint.
Perfect. And then one last question. We had somebody say, what is the best way to determine if an account is open or, quote, IBM only? Are there accounts to stay away from, especially in that like medium and enterprise space?
Yeah, if you're talking about accounts that IBM channel cannot work with us on, so IBM has touched pretty much everybody in 110 years, but 95% that I found of clients is channel centric. Even if someone has worked with an IBM from a sales perspective in the past, we will still pay out partners and we can still work with you guys in short. So there are a few untouchable accounts, like let's say a Boeing or a Starbucks, for example, if that's what the question was, that are named accounts which you cannot pay out partners. So I can help answer that separately for any partners privately, but it's a great question. Yeah.
Great. So reach out to Ed about that. And again, we'll put his information in the partner back office. Bill had asked where the blog is. If you're on our website, in the menu structure in the top, it says resources. The first listing there is blog. So thanks so much to Ed and to Dom today for our outstanding presentation and for being with us. A reminder that there will be no Tuesday call next week, as we hope to be visiting with many of you at the Channel Partners Conference and Expo in Las Vegas. Also, while there, please join us for the Run the Channel, the BizDev Bash, and Survivor Emerging Technology events. I'm really excited about that. We also have the Alliance of Channel Women event on Monday night. I am the incoming president of that organization and can't wait to see everybody there. We do welcome men to that group as well, so you're welcome to come there, and you can find us on our website at allianceofchannelwomen.org. Thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today. If you have suggestions for our weekly call, please email them to me. You can email them to marketing@telarus.com and I'll find them there. Once again, we will return in 2 weeks on March 17th. Until then, have a great selling week, everyone. See you in Vegas. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.